Gaza's children are slipping away, victims of a man-made starvation. O'Day has lost half his body weight. Doctors can't stem his decline. Sela weighs just 8 pounds. At 11 months old, she should weigh 3 times as much. Yazan is 2.5. He's so malnourished, he can barely stand. Mohammed, already sick with a degenerative illness, has had so little sustenance for so long, his life is ebbing away. The only power these children have in this war is their decline. The images of their ravaged frames so confronting, they're shaming those with power into using it. Every exposed bone and gaunt face, a reminder of the need to bring this war to an end. Israel has been forced to partially lift its blockade on food and aid in the face of global horror as starvation stalks a population. Airdrops from Jordan are adding to trucks now being allowed to deliver food and other supplies, but they are a challenging and flawed way to get aid in. For those tracking the plane and following the parachutes, there is desperation to find even a few provisions to sustain weakened bodies and minds. Jordan is treating some of the sick or injured from Gaza. The fortunate few are approved by Israel to leave for care. 14,000 others are on a list for evacuation, with little hope of leaving. When 7-year-old Mohammed arrived in Jordan, he needed care for his amputated leg and treatment for malnutrition. He'd been hit gathering water in a supposed safe zone. He is the little boy in the red T-shirt. Mohammed's 5 brothers and sisters are still in Gaza, and their mother is struggling to find enough food to keep them fed.
Because of the killing at the distribution points, people stopped going, so the starvation was spreading more and more. For the last year, it's been bad, but in the last 2 months, it was worse.
Mohammed will soon get a prosthetic limb. The tragedy is that by losing his leg, he is at least being well fed. Once he has the prosthesis, though, he will have to return to Gaza.
The bluebird.
Asur. Today, Israel has once again insisted that their war will continue, saying the gates of hell will be opened if the hostages are not released. Many would argue Israel opened those gates long ago, and Gaza is already the hell.
Well, Emma is in Jordan's capital, Amman, now. Emma, those pictures are incredibly difficult to watch, aren't they? The aid much needed. How much impact can those aid drops really have?
Well, the aid drops are really very imperfect because what you get on those, which is about 8 tonnes, is around what you could get on a lorry. And so there's an awful lot of effort put in, and then that aid drops in a particularly dangerous way, not in a particularly managed way. And tonight, David Miliband, who's the head of the International Rescue Committee, has said that these tactical pauses in fighting and aid drops are dangerously inadequate when it comes to the demand and the situation in Gaza and the man-made tragedy that's unfolding there. He says that confronting us all in the coming days are potentially the deaths of thousands of Gazan children. And, you know, this evening we've had some figures released about the number of deaths from malnutrition, 120, of which more than 80 are children. That's an increase of 54% since just a couple of months ago. So it really is very significant just how fast starvation is taking hold within the community. And of course, the very great concern now is how long, even if they're not perfect, the tactical pause will be in place, because if for any reason Israel decides to suspend them, there will be no safe way to get aid into the Palestinians in Gaza.